Season 1 had a total of 6 operator skins. Anonymous and Blood-Soaked for Koenig, Triage and Relentless for Rose, Diffuse and Anti-Medic for Zemo. To my knowledge, you can no longer obtain these skins from DMZ or anywhere else in the game. They are Season 1 exclusive content, and it's likely that the Season 2 operator skins will be seasonally locked as well. Infinity Ward has not given a definitive answer either way, but this is the same as Season 1, so we must assume that they'll be gone forever if you don't pick them up in the next few days. Also under time constraint is the Season 2 camo event. I personally think these camos look spectacular, and if you have time, you should definitely think about completing this event. So how do we obtain these operator skins? The Ranger skin Grunt work can be obtained through the Legion faction Tier 3 story mission, the Transporter. Here's a list of each of the missions for each tier. I'd recommend in Tier 1 skipping Frame Job, in Tier 2 skipping A Helping Hand, and in Tier 3 skipping Lead by Example. These are by far the most difficult and time consuming. The Sleet operator skin for the Milsim can be obtained through the White Lotus Tier 3 story mission Nowhere to Hide. I'd recommend just doing all of the Tier 1 missions, but in Tier 2, for most people, myself included, Death from Above didn't track right, so I had to do Pathfinder. But if Death from Above is actually working as intended, I would skip Pathfinder instead. For Tier 3, Unearthed is by far the most difficult, only because you need the Crane control room key. If you have the key, skip Caved In. The Macroburst Kilo skin can be obtained from the Black Mous Tier 3 story mission Medical Diagnosis. Vehicular Homicide is definitely the hardest in Tier 1. It just requires the most movement around the map, and armored patrol vehicles don't spawn nearly as much since the Season 2 Reloaded update. A quick word of warning too, Lab's investigation can only be completed when Building 21 is available, so that's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So you actually have less time to complete this. In Tier 2, Return to Cinder requires the Poppy Farmer key. It's a very easy mission if you have the key, so I recommend doing that. However, if you don't, then do custom hardware. In Tier 3, the ultimate weapon is the absolute worst mission. It doesn't sound difficult on the surface, but when you kill a player, you must take their insured weapon. There is no way to tell whether the weapon is insured by looking at the player's backpack. It could be contraband, it could be another player's, it could be their own that they made contraband. I personally tried this mission with over 30 kills and didn't get a single one to count. So definitely skip ultimate weapon. The Reyes Foxtrot skin can be obtained through the Crown Tier 3 story mission Exfil Tracking. The Crown faction is only available if you purchase the base game. Tier 1 is pretty straightforward, however, the M4 weapons testing is probably the most time consuming. Tier 2 on the other hand is just absolutely abysmal. Sample platter and cast off weapon testing, electric sheep, they're all okay, but vehicular manslaughter and boring operation are indescribably awful. Unless you have the 403 key, which I've literally never seen, then you have to do them. Finally, Tier 3, they are all fairly challenging, however, not nearly as difficult as Tier 2. Lockman's weapon testing just takes time, False Alarm is pretty fun and straightforward, delicate movement and no traipsing to Trapper can be done at the same time. Simply climb on the roof of the bomb maker's castle, throw some snapshot grenades so you can see where he is through the wall, and then use armor-piercing rounds to kill him without ever entering the building. I already have guides up on the channel for Whistleblower and Muddy Waters. If there are any other guides that you guys would like me to make, please let me know down in the comments. If you'd like a more detailed look at each skin and camo, stick around to the end of the video. Otherwise, leave a like and a comment down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you paladins in the DMZ.